Hi, I'm Kelly from NTI. Many transport and logistics businesses have been built from the ground up. It's really great everyday people who perhaps bought one truck and then have built it up over time. But what those family businesses often struggle with is getting fresh ideas and fresh thinking. Today we're going to talk about how to grow your business and how to continue to improve and make sure that you are not the problem.
I'm here today with Steve Marley, General Manager of Marley's Transport. Thanks a lot, Steve, for joining us today to have a conversation about, being the boss. Are you the problem?
I like it when people ask me questions like that.
Can you tell us a little bit about Marley's Transport?
We've been around we just cracked 50 years. And so we've got two generations running in the business actually, and a third one just starting.
What do you think makes a successful business leader?
The thing that you have to be so good at, I believe, in business and transport especially, is you have to be flexible, you have to be dynamic. And as my dad said, one of the hardest things to learn is never to say no.
What do you think the difference is between a corporate business and a family business in terms of the way it's led?
The difference is that it's at a corporate level, it's the shareholders, and at a family level, it's my house. We tend to focus on customers where they still see value in having, being able to ring up and talk to the boss, because that person is ultimately deciding whether this is, am I keeping my house or am I losing it?
What can be the impact or the problem if a boss is that passionate and that invested in the business? What's the downsides?
What we've noticed is when you run a business like that has a family, we say that there's two styles of businesses. There's the dictatorship, where basically you have one person who makes all the rules, and then you have a democracy. And what happens is both systems have their flaws, but in what I've found is if you're in a democracy, there's always someone who's basically saying, questioning, is that a good idea? And putting forward to say, well, maybe there's a better option or there's another way of doing it. You can be the leader, a dictatorship as such, and be the leader, and you can have a really bad day. But if you're in a democracy, there's always somebody who's having a good day, who can come along and say, that was pretty poor decision making, you need to change it. And that's one of the things that works for us, is that that you've always got to think about the best decision, not the spontaneous instant decision that can cause problems later on.
Why do you think those owners struggle to let go?
It's difficult. I mean, trying to make decisions, by yourself is actually quite stressful, because it's the same thing as if you make a mistake, you're ultimately responsible for that decision. And if it's a bad decision, it can affect your business viability. It can make your life quite miserable.
That's a good example of playing to your strengths and having someone to share the load with, isn't it?
I have to say, when your business gets to our size, is you have to trust people. And that is really difficult, because if you stuff it up, it's the same thing. I've got to go find someone to blame. And if they stuff it up, they've got to go find someone to blame, but it's your bank balance that's been affected by it.
So with these owners that struggle to let go, is it possible, can we fix that? Can we train them? Can we give them coaching? How do you convince someone to let go of some of that control?
We're actually struggling with it a bit now, where, examples are perfect, where my dad has always been a hands-on person who really doesn't enjoy sitting in an office. He's physically wants to see the fruits of his labour. And we've struggled at times. So what we're doing is we're saying, well, Dad, what do you like doing? And what don't you like doing? And push him in that direction, because our business is big enough. I feel for businesses where you still have owners who have to do so much themselves, they've really left it too late to be able to say, okay, I've got to try and offload stuff. And then they make bad decisions. And there's lots of businesses out there where the owners, got into their 60s or 70s and gone, oh, wow, I want to retire now, but I can't because I don't have any system in place.
So I think the key of what you've said is your people are empowered to be able to solve the problems, that they can for themselves. Go to your manager, have a great relationship with your manager. You only need to bring it to the boss when it needs to be escalated and you need someone to help you.
It's difficult, Kelly, because there's no right or wrong answer. And that's the hard thing, is that what works for me mightn't work for someone else. But giving that advice to somebody to say, you know what, try something new, and it might succeed. But in saying that, lots of people try something new and their businesses have gone arse up. And you go, wow, how do you actually reconcile all of that and stay in business? But the single thing is, Kelly, is that you've got to have a plan. If your business doesn't have a plan, then you don't go anywhere. You've got to have a reason to get out of bed in the morning. You need to have a reason to go, okay, I'm looking forward to go to work. And I would say that I've been working here for over 30 years, is that there's barely been a day where I've actually just wanted to stay in bed. Because, you know what, I enjoy getting up and I enjoy going to work, and I enjoy going like, wow, what's today going to throw at me that I need to fix?